There is a type of creature in the world that a few people have discovered, but whose existence has not been verified. We refer to these creatures collectively as unidentified mysterious animals, or UMAs for short. Hello everyone, welcome to the UMA video series. Extraterrestrial life is a vast topic that humans have continuously explored, never ceasing in their search for extraterrestrial civilizations. Just a few days ago, news that the United States discovered alien technology from a crashed UFO even topped the hot search lists. Modern scientific research indicates that in the vast universe, Earth is not the only planet with an environment similar to our own. There are many such planets. So the argument for the existence of extraterrestrial life is being accepted by more and more people. Today, I'm going to share with you a UMA sighting from the last century in West Virginia, United States, the alleged Flatwoods Monster. Around 7:15 p.m. on September 12, 1952, Edward May, Fred May, two brothers living in Flatwoods, Braxton County, and their friend Tommy Heyer were playing on the school lawn as usual. Suddenly, a bright oval fireball descended from the sky and crashed onto a nearby hillside, owned by a farmer named Billy Fisher. Driven by curiosity, the kids headed towards the farm. On the way, they passed the May brothers' house and stopped to tell their mother, Catherine May, about the incident. She immediately contacted local National Guard member Eugene Lemon. Together with two other kids, Neil Nunley and Ronnie Shaver, they went to the scene. When they reached near the site, Lemon's dog ran ahead, barking incessantly before running back. Then they encountered an impenetrable thick fog, accompanied by a pungent sulfur smell and a burning sensation in their eyes. Although the abnormal phenomena made them uneasy, they decided to proceed. During the search, Lemon discovered two red lights in the fog to his left. Instinctively raising his flashlight, he saw an unforgettable sight. A creature about 6 feet tall with a pointed, shovel or hood-shaped head and a round, red face. Its eyes glowed orange. Catherine also described the creature as having twisted, slender arms with claw-like fingers at the end, a black or dark green body, and most terrifyingly, no legs. It seemed to be floating in the air. The bright flashlight startled the creature. It began making angry hissing sounds and rapidly approached their position. Scared, the group ran away, but the creature was too close. It sprayed some oily substance onto Catherine's clothes. Fortunately, seeing them flee, it did not excessively chase them, but turned and floated towards where the fireball had crashed. Back in town, they immediately reported the incident to the local police. However, the police chief at the time, Robert Carr, was handling a plane crash outside town and could not immediately respond. When they researched the reported location, Carr stated he did not smell any suspicious odors or see or hear anything. However, besides contacting police, Catherine also notified Lee Stewart, editor of the local Braxton Democrat newspaper. Stewart followed Lemon back to the scene, but did not find any creature. However, he reported smelling that nauseating metallic burnt smell. The next morning, Stewart went to the site alone and claimed to have found brake-like marks and strange oily residue in the field by the road. In the weeks after, all those present that night consistently developed symptoms like nausea, vomiting, sore throat, or convulsions. Their doctor said the symptoms may have been caused by poisoning or extreme shock. On September 13, 1952, the day after the first incident, another similar event occurred about 20 miles south in the town of Strange Creek. The Snitowski couple, with their 18-month-old child, were driving through Braxton's rural area when their car stalled. As the husband George was about to get out and fix it, they smelled a pungent sulfur odor while their child started crying loudly. Suddenly, a strange light broke the darkness, and they saw a 6-foot-tall creature come in front of the car. Extreme terror paralyzed them as they watched the creature use its claw-like reptilian limbs to scrape the car's hood before entering the woods and disappearing. This incident mirrored the previous night's events, except in their description. The creature's head resembled a reptile rather than a shovel or hood shape. Interestingly, this couple did not immediately report their experience until 3 years later in 1955 when they provided it to Fate magazine. In fact, some other reports and interviews mentioned a few more incidents related to this creature, but the descriptions varied considerably, so I won't elaborate on them here. That's the full account of the discovery of the Flatwoods Monster. Before analyzing these events, I want to first pose two questions. Do you think such a creature actually exists? And if not, what did they actually see? What I can tell you is there is still no definite conclusion about the truth of the Flatwoods Monster, so please feel free to speculate. Here are the follow-up investigations into this case. On September 14th and 15th, the Charleston Gazette in West Virginia reported in detail for 2 consecutive days on the unknown creature appearing in Flatwoods. The same news also appeared in the Washington Daily News, causing the monster news to spread across the U.S. for a while and catching the attention of some scholars. Due to the complexity of information, here I will only share the investigation results from 3 parties. The first is from American supernatural author Gray Barker, an avid researcher of UFOs and supernatural phenomena like the Men in Black claim and the interpretation of the Bridgewater Triangle incident. That year in late September, Barker rushed to Flatwoods and interviewed the witnesses separately. His article was published in the January 1953 issue of Fate magazine. In his account, the witnesses' descriptions of the incident were largely consistent, but there were significant discrepancies in their depictions of the creature's appearance. The article highlighted the testimony of 14-year-old Neil Nunley, whom Barker felt was the calmest and least emotionally involved in his description. Nunley said the reason they didn't notice the creature at first was because they were looking at a huge, rhythmically brightening and dimming fireball in the fog ahead. He couldn't estimate its size, but others said it was at least as big as a house. Interestingly, the 2 adults, Catherine and Lemon, said they did not see this so-called fireball, and only Catherine saw the creature having claws. Similarly, in the second report by cryptozoologist Ivan T. Sanderson, there were also such descriptions. But Sanderson's interviews were more extensive, summarizing testimonies of other sightings in the area. He found that on the timeline of the incident, at least 5 unidentified flying objects appeared. 1, the fireball that crashed in Flatwoods. 2, one sighted near Sutton Airport east of Flatwoods. 3, one said to have crashed near Strange Creek where the second incident occurred. 4, one that crashed in Frametown. 5, one that disintegrated and disappeared over Charleston City Humpin. However, none of these flying objects left any reliable physical evidence. Sanderson confirmed those people did see something that night, but their testimonies may not have been entirely accurate. The third investigation came from a civilian group called CSI, a self-organized, relatively serious organization composed of astronomers, biologists, and UFO researchers. In their interviews, they mentioned many townspeople saw the descending fireball, and Lemon's mother said she felt the house shake violently with the radio signal interrupted for at least 45 minutes. Some even claimed seeing a flying saucer take off before Stewart found the oil stains and markings. They also mentioned members of Project Blue Book, the U.S. Air Force's study of UFOs, had collected soil samples from the site. And a 1952 FBI document confirmed this claim's reliability, but unfortunately, I could not find any statement of the analysis results online. Until now, the most common speculation about the Flatwoods Monster comes from the 2000 book, Flatwoods UFO Incident, by American paranormal investigator Johnny Lancer Anderek. He believed the flying object the children saw could have been a meteor, because on September 13, 1952, the day after the first incident, there were reports across several states, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Ohio, and Tennessee, of sightings of an intensely hot, huge, fiery ball traveling west across the night sky, described as either a meteor or aircraft. There were also reports of objects crashing, though no evidence was found, potentially explaining the unidentified flying object in Flatwoods. As for the pulsating, reddish-lighted creature they claimed to see, Lancer speculates it may have been debris from a disintegrating aircraft crash that night, as there was indeed an aircraft incident in that area. Regarding the so-called creature itself, based on the reported shape and sounds, Lancer believes it could have been misidentified as a species of nocturnal bird, the barn owl. This is one of the most widely distributed owl species worldwide, found almost everywhere except in extreme environments. Barn owls are 13 to 15 inches long with a 31 to 37 inch wingspan. Their head and back feathers are brown, while their belly is white or pale brown. Their head is heart-shaped, and they make an eerie screeching call. Lancer theorizes that, in an extremely panicked and anxious state, all the witnesses may have seen this owl and distorted their impression of its appearance. An owl's head shape could resemble a hood, its glowing red eyes an effect of aircraft light reflection, and its talons could explain the twisted arm description. The scene of owls perching on branches may have misled them about the creature's height. As for the oily residue and markings found, according to biologist Ryan Haupt's later investigation, a local boy named Mark Lockard admitted he had driven a Chevrolet truck to the site, which could explain those traces. While Lancer's explanations seem quite reasonable, I personally find there are many contradictions. First, if the red lights were from aircraft debris, the wreckage should have been found on the farm, but police records show no signs of a large object crashing. Second is the height issue. All witnesses confirmed it was around 6 feet tall, nearly 10 times the size of a barn owl. If it was an owl perched on a branch creating a visual distortion, its eyes should have appeared much smaller proportionally. Finally, regarding the truck markings, I found conflicting reports. One states a boy named Bill Steers wrote to the Daily News claiming he drove a Ford there for gas, while the other cites the marks being from a Chevy, so it's hard to verify which account is accurate. To this day, the Flatwoods Monster incident has become a famous urban legend locally. The town government has even capitalized on the monster imagery to heavily promote tourism. If you enter Flatwoods from the south, you'll see a road sign saying, "Welcome to the green monster capital of the world." A few monster statues downtown have become famous check-in spots for internet influencers. The Flatwoods Monster Museum on Main Street was once a viral hit, with countless monster-themed books, stickers, and souvenirs. If the Flatwoods Monster incident was truly a hoax or conspiracy, I think its biggest purpose lies right in capitalizing on that notoriety for tourism. After all, the 1950s to 1970s in America was a hotbed for mysterious creature sightings. After examining so much information, sometimes I wonder if such creatures may never actually be verified, and that might be for the best, because the truth may not be as fun or appealing as most people imagine. But I still hope everyone maintains a sense of awe towards the unknown and the desire to explore it further. As the saying goes, the unknown is always greater than the known, and that is the enduring charm of UMAs, Unidentified Mysterious Animals. All right, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching.